All right, well, welcome to our little freshman advisory meeting. So this is for all the advisors of freshmen who have capped this year, or the freshman cap advisors, whatever it is. So I'm going to go through everything I could think of that you're going to need for Friday's first freshman mentor meeting. Probably I'll add to this as the year goes on, or if you think of something that you're dying to know or you have questions about, just email me or catch me in the hallway or something. But here's some things that we need to talk about. Number one, what you're going to need to do Monday, if you haven't already done it, is schedule your freshmen for every week, every Friday. All right, with the exception of like homecoming week, and I'm going to show you how to do this really quick. So with the exception of homecoming week, you won't have to do that, as well as, like, of course, Thanksgiving week. I won't have to do that one. So I'm going to try to show you this. If you already know how to use RTI scheduler, like, you can fast forward through this part, but you'll go up here, you'll go to your RTI scheduler, and you'll go find, for instance, like, let's say that I want to do Friday, September the 9th, I would create my session. You can do a whole class at one time, and just say freshman meetings, meeting. And then whenever you go to create it, that will pop that in there. Then when you open it up, you click on it, and then you can enroll a student here by, it gives you all these options. Students I teach, my advisory. You're going to click on my advisory, and then you can hit all. And then when you do that, it says add 16 students to freshman meeting, and you would say yes, and you can add all of them. And you can do that for, consecutive Fridays, and that's what you're going to want to do. All right, you want to schedule those in there, as well as for all students. You're also going to want to put in your mentor. So let's say, for instance, your mentor was Christian Acosta. You type his name in, find him, and then add him in there. Okay, and it looks like Molly Hendrick has already done this. Well done, Molly. So but that's how you're going to do that. If you have trouble with that, or you're not quite sure how to work that, just let me know and I'll come and help you. But you're going to want to schedule those freshmen and your mentors in there every week, every Friday, until Christmas time. Again, with the exception of homecoming week, and I think that's October the 21st, and Thanksgiving week, of course. Any days that obviously we don't have a Friday class session, you won't need it. Okay. And the reason why it's so important to do that is because I do need you to take roll. Especially, we want to keep track of these freshmen, because otherwise they end up going to the gym and they'll hang out, or they'll just wander the hallways. They'll go places they're not supposed to be, which is what we've had problems with in the past. So make sure that they come, make sure you take attendance on Fridays, and make sure that you take attendance of your mentors. I need to know, it's really important that I know if a mentor is not showing up, because we track this for their community service hours for NHS. And so, like, if you'll just keep track of whether they're there or not, and if you notice that you have a mentor that's been gone quite a bit, and for whatever reason, they're supposed to be letting you know in advance if they're not going to be there for a freshman meeting. But if you have one that has missed more than like 2 times, you just come and talk to me, because we need to figure out what's going on. They know that this is supposed to be a commitment, that they're there every single Friday. So we just need to figure out what's going on. And so I can give them the correct amount of hours for NHS. All right, so make sure you're taking roll. You sign your kids up every week. And also, if you have not signed up on Google Classroom, I did send a link last week and a few weeks before that, but here it is. This is the Google Classroom. This is the one for the freshman mentors as well. So this is the same one that they're in. And this is where I post everything that you're going to need. So I will put on here the schedule, like that's the rough draft for the rest of the semester. And then you can always go back and click on that to see where we're at. But then every week I'll put in that week's topic. Like, so for instance, if there's a slides presentation that goes with it, or if there's a video that the mentors are supposed to watch with the kids, it's basically just the instructions for what the mentors are doing that day with the freshmen. So you'll kind of have an idea. And all that you really are responsible for, you don't have to teach the lesson or anything. That's really supposed to be the mentors' jobs, is to kind of run that meeting. And if In the event that you, for some odd reason, you have no mentors in there for a freshman meeting, you can make that decision that day and decide if you want to present the material or just not. It's completely up to you. Otherwise, let's talk about your role in there every Friday. So when the mentors and the freshmen are in there, I really need you to make sure that the kids come in and the phones are in their backpacks. They're supposed to be anyway, and that includes the mentors. Just give them a reminder that the phones need to be in their backpacks. Also, make sure that as much as they can be, that the freshmen and the mentors are engaging. Like, for instance, if you have one freshman who's just dead set on being a distraction, they're going to cause problems, feel free to move them closer to you. Otherwise, try to let the mentors run the meeting and just you take care of any problems as they arise. And feel free to, if you want to interject something, if the mentors are presenting something and you're like, oh, well, from a teacher's standpoint, here's how I would view this. Obviously, feel free to do that, and your mentors will probably appreciate it. You just don't want to take over the meeting. You don't want to run the meeting for them. Okay, as much as they can, let them do it. There will be occasions where there are some freshman mentors who, unfortunately, the way that I group them, I may end up with like 3 really quiet mentors, and that may be a problem. So in the event that that happens, you really do want to just train them to try to run the meeting the best that they can. They can run every meeting as a big group with like the 3 or 4 mentors kind of running it together, or some kids are way more comfortable splitting into those smaller groups. So the way that I'm going to do it this year, the mentors will get to decide how many kids and which kids that they want to specifically mentor within your class. So again, you work that out with them. I hope that it's one of those things that you feel like you are comfortable enough to talk to your mentors, and you guys can work as a team to mentor these freshmen that are coming in and to identify any problems that they're having. So like you work with these mentors. We have some really, really good ones this year, and I'm sure they would appreciate any helpful advice that you can give them. But again, it's really supposed to be a student-led program. So try to let the students lead as much as you can, and encourage them with good ideas and helpful hints and advice. Okay. All right. Hey, if you have any questions, or if there's something that you think of that you're like, oh, I wonder what we're supposed to do about this, just let me know and I'll try to answer it. Good luck this year, and reach out if you have questions. Thanks for helping.